This is Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill.
We're back, and we got fucking bubbles! Got a bubble up in this shit.
Kind of by accident, we saw these two back-to-back because they're running on Cartoon Network now. They're not on Amazon. So we have to just sort of find them by any means necessary, and the way that we found...
Just put them... you've become a pirate!
the way...
Actually, we didn't pirate anything. It was Cartoon Network. They had them, but they put them back-to-back, and I was very confused because, like, about 18 minutes into it, I'm like,
how long is this episode?
Really, really long?
Yeah, and then we look, and it's, like, both these episodes, so it's like, oh, okay, and they, like, cut out the... the credits in the middle, so it's just like, okay. So we'll just talk about back to back. You got this Watermelon Island, which is particularly funny because Rob completely forgot about the Watermelon episode, so he's just watching. It's like, what is this? Like, I thought you saw it. I thought like that was what we did together.
I want to say, okay. I'm sure somebody's gonna look it up and be like, he saw it, or no, he didn't. But there was like about maybe 4 episodes that you did without me. And I'm wondering if it was one of those, because either that or I've gone insane! Because I have no fucking memory of that. I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, I do not remember a Stephen Watermelon. And I feel like I feel like of all things I'd remember, I actually would remember that.
He makes all these Stephen Watermelons. It was kind of a blow-off episode. It's like, oh, isn't that funny? But they all go to this island, and Steven has this ability to go to sleep and wake up in one of them. It kind of feels like a Lost homage in the beginning there. And
I just like Super Watermelon Island. It sounds like a Mario World.
Yes.
Land. Like, now warp to Super Watermelon Island.
Well,
level 6.
They do bring out the N64 controller later, so maybe. I guess they just sacrifice some of them to the Malachite creature that comes out of the water and just keeps eating dark. All these Stevens.
That shit got dark.
He's like, we need to save them. It's like, I don't know. They seem pretty messed up, but okay, whatevs.
They're like the Ewoks.
Anyway.
They look all cute, but really deep down, they're
eat you.
Mean motherfuckers.
Yeah, they will eat you.
Eat you, mama.
So the gems go try to stop Malachite. Which, as you were saying, it's like, I'm glad other people are getting use out of that name, not just us. And Steven goes to sleep, wakes up in a watermelon, and gets the other watermelons to join him.
When you say it like that, you're making it sound weird.
Yeah, just a bit. When you sum it up, it's like, this sounds kind of crazy. So the watermelons fight the giant fused hybrid, and the hybrids fight the other hybrids, and... some of the watermelons wear ties and clothes, others don't. I'm kind of wondering if it's like a nudist colony or not. But,
it's like most cartoons. Some wear ties and clothes, and others don't. And
some wear white gloves as well.
Buster Bunny never had any pants.
That's true, and half of them.
But Babs had a skirt. Go figure. So his junk's just lying out there for everyone to see.
His seeds are out there.
Babs has got to cover up for some reason. I don't get it.
And they separate Malachite. They fall apart, but they lose. Was it the orange one goes down the crater, but they save the blue one. And
by the way, the wanton watermelon death.
Good Lord, the watermelon genocide.
I feel like a million melons cried out in vain and was suddenly silenced.
And then in the second episode, Peridot and him get in the drill. They start going down, and they find the cluster.
We find out Steven's kind of claustrophobic. Didn't know that.
Clusterphobic.
Clusterphobic.
That was terrible. Wonderful. You know it. You laughed really hard. Unless that was all some sort of sarcastic action.
He laughed sarcastically.
So they go down. Steven doesn't want to harm this thing because it feels like it's just all these consciousnesses and they just don't know what to do. They don't want to hurt anyone.
But they're
going to anyway. So
Do you think that's how we're all born? Like, this is like the little zygote or whatever.
And we're just like, must grow, must grow.
I mean,
Just
there's
humanity in
something-
general.
I kind of like that. I'm like, there is something so primitive about that. Just like, is just that how life works? Must grow. Must.
Don't care who we kill in way, must grow. Yeah, like plants are like that too.
Millions of years of evolution, so as life finds a way. Yes.
Even plants are kind of like that, actually. I mean, it's like they don't care what they'll kill; they'll just grow over anything and destroy whatever gets.
Why,
in
if
its
my
way they
neighbors
can.
wouldn't kill me, I would just let the weeds grow. I like it. I was like, just fucking come back.
just like consume the house. But Steven finds a way to bubble them, and then they find a way to bubble themselves, and it's all happy.
one big bubblicious party.
Yes, they got Mirai's back, and everybody seems to be happy. So I guess we'll do them individually.
I thought we just did.
No, like talk about what we thought of them now.
Oh.
The first one I thought, the Watermelon Island, I like everything except the watermelons.
Thank you! Oh my god,
like-
high five, bro.
There's like this awesome fight going on, and I'm just like, and we keep cutting back to these watermelons.
I was so like, if this episode is gonna be nothing but these fucking watermelons,
I was really
I'm
afraid.
gonna be pissed.
Like, they're not awful or anything, but here's just this
Oh.
epic fight we've been building up for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we just keep cutting back to these non-interesting watermelons who sacrifice
They're
themselves
the
anyway.
Ewoks of the Steven
Yeah,
universe.
so it's kind of hard to identify with them when they're just killing off their own anyway.
But okay, no, I totally agree. Then once I turned to you when that fight started. I'm just like, this is very anime.
yeah. I mean, everything. Even shooting the arrow, and then you see the three of them, and they come back into the arrow. I mean, it was
Something
really
about the
good
multiple
fighting.
eyes.
Very
Yeah, it's
creative.
got an Evangelion kind of feel.
No,
to it.
I like too how like when at first it forms, it's like the small eyes are on top and the big on the bottom, and then they close the eye and they switch around, almost like you can see them fighting constantly over
Yeah,
who's
so
in charge.
that part of it was cool.
Yeah, and thankfully that is a lot of it, which is good. There is a lot of that fighting. There is a lot of this battle they're building up that is pretty cool. I mean, they've been building up Malachite being trapped down there for a while and getting stronger and bigger and stuff, and we got this fight, and it is a cool fight. Yeah, I just wish there's maybe a little bit more character focused on like them, like Steven and the gems, and even Malachite, and not as much on the watermelons. I just felt like, we could have been having more like dialogue talks or psychological stuff or something instead of these watermelons.
Melon heavy episode.
Yes. It made me melancholy.
I'm totally flashing to Better Off Dead. That's just what I do when people like try to insult me. I'm just, you made a joke.
You reference the only good John Cusack movie that John Cusack doesn't like.
I liked High Fidelity.
But we're not here to talk about John Cusack movies. We're here to talk about... So I think that's pretty much it for that episode. And the ending, now that we know what happens in the episode that follows it, the ending with them saying, and you can do it, bro. Yeah, you can do it. And Steven, like, we love you, and stuff, and stops there. It's like, okay, that's a good cliffhanger. Like, oh my God, could stuff really end here? But I don't know. The next episode, even though it's good, I feel like, there was definitely a little bit of that, this might be the end kind of thing. But I don't know. I didn't really feel like it might be the end, even though it's like, okay, I know there's more episodes, I know you have a season and stuff, but it's like that dread wasn't quite as heavy as it was in other episodes.
What are you prattling on about?
I'm talking about, like, because they're trying to build up, like, when Peridot and him are in there, and, like, the thing's crushing him, and she's like, this might be it, Steven, do you have any last words? I love you, thanks, and stuff, and even before then, in that episode when Steven's fading away, they say, you can do it, bro, you can get the drill, and then Garen says, and Steven, we love you. And it's like, wow, so could this be like the last
That
mission
should
or
be
something
where,
like that?
okay, I see what you're saying. That should be where the season should have ended. If they had ended there, it's like, Steven, we love you, boom, they disappear and been like, fuck! Now wait for that continuation.
But now that we know the follow-up, it's them going down, and it's fine. It's a good episode with Gem Drill, but I felt like, man, for that much of a build-up, it's like, I never felt as much danger as I have in other episodes.
I think we're
if that makes
gonna
sense.
have to accept that the way these seasons are divided up is just arbitrary, and just fuck it. Don't think that way. We're just gonna have to take it as one giant story, and where it's divided up like that. Because yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like this could have been the drill episode could have been a season finale type thing. I think we're just gonna have to get out of that because the way Cartoon Network is running this shit with 5 episodes.
I wasn't even talking about season finale. I was just saying, like, in general, just having that build up for what we got. I was kind of like, I never felt quite that dread that this could be the final, like, they could be doomed.
That's what I'm saying. It's because this is the beginning of this season now, so it's just like, well, what the hell could happen?
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying this would have worked better. Like, okay, if you had cut off, like, the season right after the watermelon episode. I've gotten rid of the watermelons, but we went through that. If you had cut it there, this would have been way more interesting. Then you open up with him getting the drill, and so you know they're not going to die, like, once you get them in the drill. But, I mean, it sets up that this is the beginning of a new set. I don't know, I just would have divided, but who knows how they're... the crazy television programming, if I were running things!
So first of all, that was a fast 2 hours when she's like, it's actually 2 hours until we get down there. Unless the break was in there. I mean, maybe it was like, you got some tunes? Sure, maybe they cut there, but I think they cut at the We Love You line.
No, I just assumed that time had passed.
Maybe. Probably.
What are you, stupid? You're stupid. You're stupid.
It's good. I like coming... Oh, will you shut up? I like those shards all having a personality. The cluster. I like the way the cluster looked. I like all the various colors. I like the shine. I like going in. It's very minimal, but it still feels
very
grand and big.
Sex education video. I just had like the egg and like things are
have the little sperms coming out.
Yeah, it felt very much like like I'm like I'm back in 5th grade seeing those primitive animations. Like actually this would have been if the sex ed video was done like
I would pay more attention.
Full CGI, baby! But, and literally, you'll end up with a full CGI baby.
It must grow, grow.
No, I thought the representation was cool. I thought, the voices were creeping me out. I was must grow.
Sometimes they were hard to make out what they were saying too, which I like. I'd be like, what'd they say? But I kind of like you couldn't quite always make it out because Steven would translate it.
Am I correct? They don't want to grow though.
That's what they said. Steven says they don't want to fuse. They don't want to form. They don't want to do it. But they are still kind of doing it. Like she said, just because they don't want to do it doesn't mean they're not going to do it.
Okay.
So they don't want to, but they can't stop either.
I hope they delve into that a little more because I wasn't quite following. I'm like, well, why not?
Well, now that it's bubbled, I mean, I'm sure they'll take like a break or whatever, but then they'll come back to it. Because I'm a little intrigued by that too. I like the idea. It's like
because I just assumed they would want to, like I'm like, okay.
It's like because it's so many consciousness and stuff. It's like they do and they don't, which I kind of like. It's just like because it's not like before where the fusion's like 2 or 3 people. I mean, this is like bits and pieces of tons of people. So I like the idea.
We don't want to lose our individuality.
But so they're trying to form. They're trying to make something coherent. But it's tricky. So I really like that idea. I thought
whatever.
Really
it still makes
fun.
more sense than the end of Evangelion. Less crayon too.
But no, I thought it was good. I'm curious what they're gonna do with. I always want to say Lupus, but I don't think that's her name. Lapis? Yeah, Lapis. I'm curious what they're going to do with
Lupus.
that. I've been watching House recently.
I was just going to say, it's not Lupus.
But, I'm curious what they're going to do with that character now that she's back.
Did they ever have a moment on House where it was Lupus?
I don't know.
They really, if not, I'm sure
they really missed their opportunity.
They should have at least at one point.
They should have to be the final episode. He gets Lupus.
At one point, it's like they go through everything else. At the end, he's like, "No, you idiots, it's Lupus."
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm curious where the the other one, the orange one that fell into the crack, she's still out there, so we can see what's gonna happen with that.
She becomes the volcano god that they worship.
She
on
becomes
Watermelon Island.
She becomes the volcano and
the next time
lava short before Inside
Yeah,
Out.
next time Steven shows up there in that island, it's gonna be Steven versus the volcano.
That's what we were getting for a second. Yeah, no, it's still good episodes. Could have used a little less watermelon, but, like you do, we still got a really kick-ass fight and some nice suspenseful stuff.
Watermelon Man.
So, yeah, that's about it. We will see you in the next episode. See you then.